So this is numbers 12 through 14. It says, find the area and the arc length of the shaded region. So let's start with area. And really what this is going to be, since we're finding the shaded region, this is going to be area of the sector. Remember, we'll set this up by creating two fractions. What do we always know? We always know that we're going to deal with a total of 360 degrees. So we can put that there. Do you see any other degrees? Well, here's the problem. 270 goes with this big part of the circle, but I want the shaded region. So I need to figure out how much of this amount is. So what I want to do is 360 degrees minus 270 degrees. What does that leave me with? 90 degrees. That means that this arc right here is 90 degrees. That's what I want to use for the smaller region. Then, let's look. We're finding the area. Area is based on the formula pi r squared. Let me pull that down just a little bit. Pi r squared. So we're going to do pi. What's the radius? The radius is 6 squared. And we're trying to find the area of the sector. That's what we're looking for. So that's going to be x. So you're going to cross multiply here. 360 times x is going to equal 90 pi 6 squared. Then remember, 360 times x, the opposite of that would be to divide both sides here by 360, so that these cancel. And in your calculator, this is what you're going to put in. So give me just a second to put it in my calculator. And I get that x is approximately 28.3. We don't have a unit, so I'm going to go ahead and call that units squared. So that's the area of the sector. Now let's find the length of the shaded region, or the arc length. So this is the arc length. Alright, same concept, set up your proportion. It's always going to be out of a total of 360. It's part over whole. Again, we know that this smaller region is 90 degrees. That's what we need to use. And this time we're dealing with length. Remember, length is going to be 2 pi r. So 2 times pi, and what's my radius? 6. We're trying to figure out what that partial segment is. The part is here, this length, that's only part of it. So part over whole. So cross multiply. 360 times x is equal to 2 pi 6 times 90. And again, to get rid of 360, we're going to divide both sides by 360 so that these cancel. And x is going to be approximately, and again, give me just a second to put it in my calculator. We're going to get that it's about 9.4 units. Remember, area always has units squared, and then the length is always just the unit. Alright, number 13. Number 13 talks about a pizza. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a pizza. Mark the center here. And it says 1 piece of pizza. And I'm also told that it's cut into eighths. So let me show you what happens when we cut this into eighths. Okay? We cut it into eighths, and they tell you 1 piece of pizza is going to have an area of 9 pi. So let's look at it. We're supposed to find the radius. Let me give you a hint. How many sections do we have? Well, if it's cut into eighths, that means we have 8 sections. So you want to do 360 divided by the 8 sections. And what that gives you is 45 degrees. That means each section is 45 degrees. That allows me to get the information for my part here. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my proportion now. I know it's a total of 360 degrees. That's always what I start with. I know I've got one section is going to be 45 degrees. The area of that one little section, the area of that part, it's just part of the shaded region, is 9 pi. Part goes on top. And then it says that I'm supposed to find the radius. Well, for right now, we're just going to deal with area here. we can find the area of the entire pizza from this information. Now we're ready to cross multiply. So I get 45 times A is equal to 9 pi 360. Divide both sides here by 45. These cancel, and A is approximately, give me just a second, A is approximately, actually let's just go for the exact, 72 pi. And then this would be our inches squared. Now, we're supposed to find the radius. Remember the area formula is pi r squared. I already know the A part of it. I know the A part of it is 72 pi. And that is supposed to equal the formula pi r squared. So now I'm going to get r squared by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by pi. Look what happens. The pi's cancel on both sides. And I have 72 equals r squared. Well, what's the inverse of squaring? Square rooting. So r is going to equal, when we do the square root of 72, it's going to be 6 square root of 2. But if I change that to a decimal, it's going to be approximately 8.5. What's my unit? Inches. And then number 14 says, determine the radius of a circle that has a circumference of 26 pi centimeters. It should not be squared, it should just be centimeters. So the circumference is 26 pi. Now it says find the radius. Well, what's our formula? For the circumference, we've got 2 pi r. I want to use the one with the r because I'm dealing with radius here. And I already know the c. The c is 26 pi, so I'm just going to plug it in there. 26 pi is equal to 2 pi r. So what am I going to do? I'm going to divide both sides here by 2 pi so that I can get r all by itself, because this will cancel. And r is going to equal, that cancels. What's 26 divided by 2? The radius is 13. Let's give it a unit, centimeters. It says to use this radius to find the area then. So my area formula is pi r squared. And I now know what the r is. So area is pi times my r, which was 13 squared. So area is going to be 13 times itself is 169 pi, or I can change that to a decimal, so give me just a second. It's approximately 530.9, let's give it a unit, centimeters squared.